Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is March 11th, 2025. That is just about 5 years of Torah every single day, of coming together every single day to lift each other up, to say good morning to each other, to say hello. Penny and Janice, Arlene. Thank you, Penny. It's broadcast 1258. Neil, my friend, so beautiful to see you. Lisa, Safta 71, nice to see you. Richard, I hope that you are all safe and well. There's a lot to talk about, but let's not miss the chance to say good morning. It's a big deal to do that. Valerie and Cecile, Carl, Boker Tov, Tobian, good to see you. Carl, Deborah, Anya, Lydia, Boker Tov, sending love to all of you wherever you are. Let's take a breath, sing a blessing, learn some Torah. Here we go. La 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 la. To the la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעשות בדברי תורה, לעשות בדברי תורה, הפוך בה והפוך בה, לעשות בדברי תורה. So, good morning, everyone. A lot to talk about. I want to make sure to wish a mazel tov, Susan, to you upon your son's upcoming wedding this weekend. Mazel tov, b'sha tova. Everything should be completely blessed, and you should just bask in the glow of your child taking his next step forward. Today is a million things. Today is March 11th, 2025. It is the 1258th broadcast. Today is also the 522nd day since October 7th. And today also is the 5th anniversary of March 11th, 2020, which was the day that the World Health Organization declared what was then called the novel virus, the coronavirus, a worldwide pandemic. This is the day 5 years ago that the world shut down. It's important for us to name the day. So much has happened since. It seems like crisis has become the new normal, with one world-changing event after another. And this is why we began this broadcast. We came together to find each other when there was no other way to find each other. And thank God we did. We found each other. We have loved each other. We have learned together. We've commemorated events, celebrated events. We've learned Torah over and over 5 times on this broadcast. And so today, the 5th anniversary of the pandemic's official beginning, also tells us that in 1 week, we will celebrate 5 years of Torah every single weekday. That is a huge accomplishment for our community. And so while we continue to heal, because it actually never ended, and while we continue to face crisis after crisis, as we are committed to doing, because we are present, we are the people that endures, let's make sure that we also give ourselves an intentional moment to breathe. I remember 5 years ago, not being able to come back to my office. One of the ways that manifested was I couldn't use my books, but I also couldn't meet with people to learn with them. And what a gift it has been to regain those abilities, to be back in workplaces and with people, back with my books, but that we didn't let go of each other the entire time. And so we'll mark our 5-year anniversary as a learning community next week. But let's not miss this moment of celebrating and commemorating. We are all of these things. We have been all of these things. And among the things I did not list is witness. Barbara, 5 years ago, you were sitting Shiva for your mother. May her memory be for a blessing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's learn a little bit of Torah, as we have 1,258 times. This week will be Parshat Ki Tissa. We read that on Shabbat. This week, Thursday evening and Friday, for most parts of the world, is Purim. If you're in Jerusalem, it's a different day. You can look that up. It's fascinating. And let's think about Ki Tissa. Ki Tissa is a Torah portion that is famous for a few things, most of which is the focus on the golden calf. And in the story of the golden calf, it's too easy to paint people in black and white as a sinner or as a person of valor. But when Moses disappears into the clouds on Mount Sinai, we are a people that has not been free for all that long. And in fact, the only physical manifestation of God's promise has been Moses and Aaron, but Moses in particular. And so we stand as participants in the story, unsure, friends, unsure that Moses will ever return. In fact, according to the Midrash, he said he would be up for 40 days. And we as a people counted the days, but we counted a little bit wrong. And so just before he was about to return, we became nervous and chaotic. We didn't know who was in charge. You can read books like Lord of the Flies and other to see that when the sense of stability and order that we count on becomes wobbly, things become chaotic. That is a modern political issue all over the world. With political instability, there are shocks to the system, and people sometimes don't know which way to turn. And so when the people pounce on Aharon and they say, "Give us a God. We need a God. We don't know where Moshe went." What they're saying is, "We're scared. Can you turn the lights on? It's scary in the dark." And that is a language that you and I know. We understand that we shouldn't be so quick to judge when people feel afraid. In fact, the widespread instability, political instability in our world, is reason for us to double down on our concern, not to create places with easy answers, a modern corollary of the golden calf. Just replace the stability with a fake sense of security. No, what we need to do, friends, is remember that there is a need in every society for accountability and stability and continuity. There is a need to show reverence for the past, even when there are changes that need to be made. When the golden calf happens, the people lose control because it is a fake sense of stability. There is a richness that comes with institutions of state. They require serious tending and sometimes significant updating. But the golden calf was a poor substitute for Moshe's wisdom. And Moshe was not the God that they thought they lost. Moshe was a channel for the divine to be manifest. That channel, if you remember our stories well, never says, "I always know the answer." In fact, when Moshe began his job, took his office, as it were, as the lawbringer, his father-in-law Yitro witnesses him and says, "It's not good how you're doing this. You need to reform your system of judicial oversight. There needs to be a sharing of power, and Moshe is the ultimate leader because in that moment he does that. A human being who is human can change, acknowledge a shortcoming. A golden calf can't do that. Fake senses of stability, pretenders to authority, or those who claim it exclusively, those are representatives of modern versions of the golden calf, of the Egel HaZahav. Moshe was not that, which is why when he left and was out of sight, we became so scared. If you've studied developmental theories when it comes to young children, you know the phrase object permanence. It is the theory that gives birth to the game of peekaboo. When we play peekaboo, let's say you and me, for some reason, we were playing peekaboo, right? I put my hands over my eyes, but I know that you are there even when I'm not looking. But there is a stage of human development that is previous to that, which is when I close my eyes, I actually am not sure if you're there, which is why for a baby, when you play peekaboo and they see you again, it's a shock. They laugh because after all, they didn't know that you were there when they couldn't see you. Think about what this comment means for our ancestors, Bnei Israel, standing at the base of the mountain, fearful because Moshe, who made the world make sense, was suddenly not there. And when he was not there, hidden by a cloud, they didn't know which way to turn. Can you blame them? Should we blame them for being so scared that they would turn anywhere for stability? They would see anything shiny, like a golden calf, as a source of divine wisdom. It's easy to become distracted. It's important to be forgiving when we look at our ancestors. There's more to the story than that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But when we think about our ancestors, the golden calf, the place of Moshe, and how fragile societies can be even when they are proximate to real truth, when in their recent history there was a healthy channel for divine inspiration and judgment, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget, which is why we must remember our history, which is why we must take care of each other, and which is why we must tend to the institutions of state. It's not that we will always feel well met by the way any department or any ministry is led, but those institutions give us the chance to endure, and in fact, to hold together, and in fact, to stay focused on the things that matter. So, let's make sure that we stay focused on the things that matter, that we stay attuned to the world no matter how much it shakes, and that we tend to our community, especially in moments of deep instability. Friends, send your hearts to the east with me. Let's sing. Kol or balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.